Hello everyone, welcome to SuperKalam. I am your teacher and mentor here to help you understand the relevance of current affairs. I know when we start our UPSC preparation, understanding current affairs becomes the first and foremost challenge. When an average aspirant starts his or her preparation, the first thing is current affairs. What kind of current affairs have to be studied? Because there is everything in the news that seems to be important. Second question is, to what extent current affairs have to be studied? Third question that an aspirant deals with is, from where current affairs have to be covered? And the next question and the last question is, how UPSC thinks with respect to current affairs. So I'm going to help you understand how to solve this problem once and for all. And also, I'm going to introduce a very important superpower which you all have in your own hands, through which you can manage this problem, you can solve this problem. देखो, जब हम बात करते हैं करंट अफेयर्स की, वी नीड टू फर्स्ट थिंग इज वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई आर दे इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज व्हेन यू नो द इंपॉर्टेंस देन यू कैन प्रायोरिटाइज थिंग्स अकॉर्डिंगली. When we don't know the importance of the task at hand, prioritization takes a seat back, and that is where we falter. Importance है. Why? Because in the entire prelims paper, in the entire mains paper, and then you have the personality interview round, current affairs helps you form your rational understanding of what is going around you. Current affair helps you understand how to analyze anything, because anything, current affairs helps you to understand how to analyze anything, because when problem is presented to you as a civil servant, the first step would be not to think emotionally but to think rationally and analyze, so that you can come to the solution. You guys have to be the future solution providers, right? आप तो चीजों को सॉल्व करोगे, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्वर हो, आप सॉल्यूशन गिवर हो, आप लोग उसके लिए रैशनल थिंकिंग जरूरी है. एंड दैट इज हाउ यू डेवलप रैशनल थिंकिंग, व्हेन यू आर अवेयर ऑफ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. जब पता ही नहीं है, सुनी सुनाई बातों से हमारी रैशनल थिंकिंग नहीं बनती है, राइट? And in personal interview round also, they will not ask questions from the books directly. They will ask questions based on your opinions, your understanding of what is going around. For example, recently Operation Sindoor was launched, and there are so many events which are going around. Here, rational thinking and analytical skills are very important to understand the crux of the situation, of the matter. है ना? So that is why current affairs are important. Now, second important aspect, from the perspective of questions which are asked in UPSC, why current affairs are important. So for that, I'll help you see the previous year question. This is the 2024 PYQ that I have. And from that, I'll help you understand how, from UPSC's perspective, current affairs are relevant. Look at this particular question. Consider the following: pyroclastic debris, ash and dust, nitrogen compound, sulfur compound. How many of the above are products of volcanic eruptions? Now you must be thinking, ma'am, this question is, I think it is static question. It can be solved if we have studied about it. No, this question, this particular topic was in news. In the last 1.5 to 2 years, volcanic eruptions were happening. So pyroclastic debris was in news, not all the other compounds. This particular first option was in news. And see how it is interrelated with the static, that is volcanoes chapter है ना, in NCERT in geography. Now another question I'll show you. यहाँ देखो, which of the following countries are well known as the two largest cocoa producers in the world? Cocoa production. I studied about it in the Indian Express in 2023. And see the question over here. Now this question, you will not find this question in certain books. अब books पढ़ोगे, NCERTs पढ़ोगे, इतना जल्दी आपको ऐसे questions नहीं मिलेंगे. But because cocoa production, diabetes, vaccines, certain viruses are in news, that is how questions are asked. Now I'll give you another example. Look at this particular screen. Now here, Nipah resurfaces in Kerala's Malappuram. It was in news on 9th of May 2025. That is today when we are recording this video for you. But in Nipah virus that we study, viruses के ऊपर तो questions have been asked in prelims. But there is another important linkage over here. Linkage of flying fox. Nipah virus spreads through fruit bats or flying foxes, and in 2024 prelims, question was asked on Indian flying fox. In the previous attempts also question was asked on flying fox. This is how things are interconnected. So if you are aware of the current affairs, then trust me, these kind of questions, when you are reading about current affairs, understanding it, researching on it, इस तरीके के क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करना, इट बिकम्स वेरी इजी, वेरी सिंपल. So first doubt I have solved, why they are important. Now the second doubt, how to prepare them and from where to prepare, note making should be done or not, क्या notes बनाए जाए, all of this I'm going to solve. Now how to prepare and from where to prepare. There are few sources from which you prepare the current affairs, but many students skip those sources. And मुझे पता है, मैं भी एक टाइम पर उन स्टूडेंट्स में से थी. बट जब हमें आंखों के सामने, when we can see the solution in front of us and still we are running around here and there after each and every material in the market, that is where we are committing a huge mistake. UPSC journey requires your discipline and your commitment. Not just this exam, any exam that you give in life, it requires your commitment, है ना? So here, from where you can prepare, there are several sources. For example, we have the Hindu newspaper, we have the Indian Express newspaper. Some students, they also study the Economic Times because they have economics as their optional. But you have to pick up any one newspaper. कोई एक newspaper pick करना है. All both of these newspapers are relevant, are important. Yes, बाकी newspapers मैं नहीं बोलूंगी, ये दो तो relevant है. इनमें से कोई एक pick करना है आपको based on the language, comfortability with the language. For example, for me, अगर मुझे, if I am very comfortable in understanding the vocab and the sentence formation and language of Indian Express, I'll go with that. If someone is able to understand the Hindu, he or she will go with that. अगर किसी को इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स ही बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, वो वहां जाएगा. बट इन दो में से कोई एक न्यूज़पेपर, एनी वन फ्रॉम दीज टू इज important. You have to read the newspapers. I am not saying make notes out of the newspaper, but what this habit of reading newspaper will do to you, it will help you form opinion. अगर आप मग अप करने लगोगे करंट अफेयर्स को, इफ यू आर मगिंग अप फ्रॉम द करंट अफेयर्स फ्रॉम डिफरेंट मैगजीन्स, ट्रस्ट मी, योर एनालिटिकल स्किल्स विल टेक अ बैक सीट. ये होगा. आई हैव विटनेस दिस. आई हैव taught thousands of UPSC aspirants in the last few years, and I have seen them struggling in answer writing because they mugged up the current affairs, so they don't know how to form basic sentences only. And I've seen those students who are diligently reading the newspaper first thing in the morning, and they are very affluent with the sentence formation, basic sentence formation, because they have created opinions. They are able to analyze things in a better way, in a rational way, right? तो इसलिए न्यूज़पेपर रीडिंग जरूरी है, पर रटने के लिए नहीं, समझने के लिए. डोंट रीड न्यूज़पेपर फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ क्रैमिंग इट, बट फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग इट. Okay, now I have told you one source is enough. But you must be wondering, ma'am, magazines, we refer to magazines also. Should we go after the magazines? So magazines are there to help you cover the backlogs. ये तो backlogs के लिए ही होता है ना. Newspaper reading cannot be, you cannot supplement it with magazines. That is for backlogs. If you have missed out on something, you can refer to monthly magazines. Now the question is how to prepare. So over here, look at this particular article. When I read this article, Nipa resurfaces, I will not note down all the important points from this article in my register. नहीं, मैं ऐसे नहीं करूँगी. Because what is important? Read the article. Nipa article says Nipa has resurfaced in Mallapuram district of Kerala with a 42-year-old woman testing positive. Now this particular area is not important for our notes. Nipah virus is important. Where it has resurfaced, that is important. Rest, the other article is just talking about how the health officials are, what the health officials are doing. For example, contact tracing हो रही है, right? That means who are the people in whose touch the woman has come in the past few days, right? So that they can be isolated also, they can be monitored also for any changes in their health. Okay, so these are the two things: Nipah virus and contact tracing. These are the two things in the entire article which is relevant. But the and third is mask wearing. Public has been advised to wear mask. But what about understanding Nipah virus? What exactly is Nipah virus? How is it transmitted? Where was it first detected? How is it spread? And what kind of questions have been asked or can be asked? यहाँ पर प्रॉब्लम होती है ना. दिस इज योर नोट मेकिंग. दिस इज हाउ माइंड मैप्स आर मेड. यहाँ पर मैं एक टॉपिक बनाती हूँ. व्हेन वी आर स्टडिंग अबाउट निपा वायरस एंड यू आर मेकिंग नोट्स, what you have to search upon, what is it, क्या है ये, how is it, when was it detected, ठीक है, लास्ट कब डिटेक्ट हुआ, लास्ट डिटेक्टेड, हाउ इज इट ट्रांसमिटेड, कैसे ये स्प्रेड होता है, ठीक है, हाउ इज इट ट्रांसमिटेड. देन नेक्स्ट इज Is there any cure or is there any vaccine which is available? So recently it was in news, chikungunya vaccine was in news, right? So is there any cure or vaccine about it? Then what are the animals or what are the species associated with the spread of Nipah virus? And what kind of questions can be asked in prelims or in mains on this particular topic? इस topic पे क्या question पूछे जा सकते हैं? That is how your one mind map will be completed. बस यही search करना होता है आपको. But the problem is it takes time, right? I understand. Many students tell me, ma'am, we take 2 to 3 hours in note making from on these particular topics in the news. For example, abhi India Pakistan retaliatory wars are going on. So we know that S-400 is in news. We know that Operation Sindoor and all the other operations which took place in 1971 are in news. We have to study them. They are part of our syllabus, right? But the question is, the scalp missile, the hammer missile are in news. But the question is, while making notes, while researching about these topics, it takes quite a time, quite a few time. Because why? Because in the news, everything will not be covered. Historical background will not be covered. इस तरीके से न्यूज़पेपर में थोड़ी कवर होगा, वो तो शॉर्ट में बता देगा क्या हुआ. बाकी रिसर्च हमें करनी पड़ेगी. Now for that I have a very very important tool for you, and please do not miss this tool. यहाँ पे मैंने आपको लिखवाया था ना, from where to prepare. I told you to choose one newspaper. Now I'll guide you to a tool, very powerful tool, which can help you actually in saving your time. So your time from 2 to 3 hours of covering newspaper will drop down to 45 minutes. अब वो कैसे होगा? I'll take you to that tool. So this is the tool. SuperKalam's current affair tool. Current affairs at one place. Now you must be wondering, ma'am, on SuperKalam we have been studying daily news analysis. What is new about it? I'll show you what is magical about this new tool that we have built for all of you, and it is free of cost for all of you. You go to superkalam.com and you click on check now, and once you click here on current affairs, you will be guided to द करंट न्यूज एनालिसिस. ये तो चलो कल का है, आज का भी दिखा देते हैं. दिस इज टुडेज न्यूज. नाउ निपा resurfaces in Kerala's Mallapuram. We were reading this. On which page the news has come, that is also shared, right? The date of the news, that is also shared. Which GS paper 2 is relevant here in this article, GS paper 2 and GS paper 3, that is also shared by SuperKalam. Key highlights, what has happened. Detailed insights, I told you, contract tracing, देखो वो भी यहाँ पर shared है. Scientific technical concepts which are involved, Nipah virus, contact tracing, containment zone, that is also shared. And over here just look at it. I told you ना how UPSC can frame question from it, that is also important. ये भी तो जानना जरूरी है. So a mains mock question with every article is shared by SuperKalam. You can even practice this question, and you know SuperKalam evaluates your answer within seconds. आप आंसर evaluate कराकर वहीं के वही टॉपिक क्लोज कर सकते हो. Same applies to the other articles which are shared. Detailed insights with mains mock question. Now you must be wondering, ma'am, this is about mains. How UPSC can ask question in prelims on this particular current affair? So here, three things at one place. Daily news analysis you are getting, monthly magazines you are getting. So in a month, if you have missed out on any news, you can go to monthly magazine and you can download the magazine and cover the articles that you have missed. For example, April month's magazine is over here. आप download button पे click करो, download कर लो, or just click on view PDF and cover all the important articles that you might have missed. The best part is in the magazines, with every article, if PYQs have been asked, they are also covered. तो आपके previous year question भी solve हो रहे हैं from current affairs. And we have mind maps also in the magazine. I'll show you the mind maps, the diagrams that I have made. We have attached that in the magazine so that your learning can become super easy. For example, all the hand drawn diagrams that I usually share on Telegram and other notes, those are here. See, Shimla agreement was in news. So the entire mind map that we made, over here we have summarized the entire Shimla agreement. UNESCO's Memory of World Register was in news. Now that also has been covered through mind map in the magazine. So this is the beauty of this current affair tool. Now go back, and over here you will see another tool, practice. Click on practice and you will see 5 MCQs daily SuperKalam asks on that day's current affair. This is today's current affair. Click on practice now and you will see questions from today's newspaper. Rohingya article was in news, question on that has been asked, right? Maternal mortality ratio was in news, question on that has been asked. This is the beauty of having SuperKalam's current affairs tool. सो नाउ योर टाइम इज सेव्ड, योर एफर्ट्स आर सेव्ड। यहाँ पर आप पूरे आर्टिकल को अच्छे से समझ सकते हो। यू आर रीडिंग द न्यूज़पेपर, बट इफ यू आर स्टक in any article, you can come here and you can read and you can understand. But do not forget to practice also, practice bhi karni hai, so that you can become more and more aware how UPSC can frame question. And this is your calendar. 8 तारीख की न्यूज़ पढ़नी है, 8 तारीख की न्यूज़ अवेलेबल है, 7 की पढ़नी है, 7 की अवेलेबल है। योर कैलेंडर, योर प्रोग्रेस बार इज ऑल्सो हियर। ओके, बेस्ट पार्ट इज mark as red, so that in your calendar also it is marked, ताकि आपके पास you will become more and more accountable. And you can download the current affair analysis also, daily news analysis को download कर लो, so that will help you create a repository of current affair notes. तो आपका note making time भी बचेगा if you are a working professional or a college student. This is why current affairs are important. I showed you with proof from PYQs, and this is how current affairs can be prepared. Now there are tools which can make your preparation journey more and more simple. So that is why I wanted all of you to be aware of current affairs. I've seen students missing out on current affairs for the entire year, and in the last 2 months they start panicking कि अब cover कैसे करें. एंड करंट अफेयर्स का पार्ट भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। 65% पार्ट ऑफ प्रीलिम्स इज करंट अफेयर्स लिंक्ड है करंट अफेयर से। आप 65% का रिस्क नहीं ले सकते हो। यू कांट थिंक दैट इन द लास्ट 1 month वी विल रिवाइज थ्रू मैगजीन्स, दैट वे यू विल बी रोट लर्निंग। आप समझोगे नहीं, मेंस में वीक हो जाओगे, प्रीलिम्स में ओवरलोड कर दोगे ब्रेन को, वही नहीं करना है। दैट वी हैव टू स्टॉप इन आवर जर्नी। Okay, so now also is the right time to start your current affairs preparation journey. Okay, do try out. I have given the link of current affairs tool at SuperKalam in the description box and in the comment section also. खुद try करना and share your feedback. अपना feedback भी देना comment section में. Okay, thank you so much everyone.